Welcome, everyone. It's Matt along with Goo, and today we're going to talk about Jessica, our first unit Dragon Quest VIII. And just to be honest, we're going to whip through this and talk about how wonderful she is and why you need to get her. Stay tuned.
What?
All right, Jessica is going to be the first unit in the Dragon Quest VIII, which is down below. Link. Uh, Enjoy. She is one of the best units still in JP. Top five, probably number five in this overall spot as of right now, but still very much top five. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But her leadership effect is actually pretty useful as increased hero spell power by 20%. We have a decent amount of heroes that use spells, and you're going to actually start wanting to specialize in either spell power or physical power. And for heroes, I think they're strongest really in the spell power area. So Jessica's going to get used very much. She is obviously a spellcaster hero unit. Uh, you will notice that all these heroes, at the very least for Dragon Quest 8, has four. One of them is going to be Accumulate, which raises tension, which increases their strength for one turn. Very powerful skill. And I'll kind of show you the reason why Jessica is so well loved and so used greatly. And it deals with her ability to use Accumulate and then to use her ultimate skill, which actually uses all of her MP and does absolute insane damage to the point where it, as long as they're not very resistant to magic, she will guarantee that you reach the high damage in almost every single requirement from here on out. That's how powerful she will become. Uh, Her first actual skill outside of Accumulate is Sexy Beam, which also introduces a new debuff called Charm. This is actually a very dangerous skill where not many units at all have any immunity to charm. And this also gives her martial damage, which is important for some units are going to be very spell resistant, aka that they'll have reflect shield, and also some units are very will have like high dodge and others. And it's nice that she has a martial attack, let alone that inflicts such a powerful debuff. That it gives her a lot of options, which is going to become very important from here on out. It's pretty large for MP consumption of 42, but it has a good range, and martial damage is based on level, so you don't have to worry about attack as well. So very, very nice for her, especially just for her first skill, just to give you something else. Next skill is the Fireball. Inflicts very high first spell damage four times to an enemy. Very nice skill overall. Covers a pretty wide range. It's a single unit skill, but still very nice. The last one's Red Hot Vigaragon. Obviously, it's going to change very soon, but it inflicts a large amount of Sizz spell damage on all enemies. Has an incredibly wide range, like Dragon Lord does, except this is Sizz. And with her magic power, she just deals massive damage with the skill. And once again, these are all great skills, but this is not the main reason why she is so powerful, especially when you can use Accumulate to every basically other turn and just dominate the field. Her first awakening is very important for her is to recover MP every three turns. You'll see why when I go through the special. Second, fourth, Whoosh and Zap Resistance. Her third skill, she can randomly rarely tension up, and when she does that, that is a just bonus massive damage that really makes her a little RNG based on that part. But when you do get that, wow, you just feel like haha, dead, and it really just saves a turn for you. So it's great there. And spell power plus 5%. Last one is MP 50, which honestly I'm a little disappointed by. If it was something else other than MP plus 50, I think she would be probably top three still, but this is where it's a little disappointing. And then spell power plus 5%. It's not the MP that she needs. She needs like higher MP recovery or something else. I mean, the recover MP every 3 turns is nice. You know, maybe making it after every 2 turns she gets additional MP. That would have really made her powerful and Nocturnus like in the overall power, or maybe a crit. I don't know, but the tension is very very nice, very very good unit right now. Probably the second, not probably, is the second strongest unit that we have, uh, for especially for a DPS role. Her stats, her HP and defense are fairly low. This is her one true weakness, but as a mage unit and with so much power, this is a trade off that you don't worry about too much. Her MP is at 650. That's with the plus 50 at the end. Uh, she can cast spells up the wazoo and then use her ultimate later. Um, MP, even though all of her spells are incredibly high, is not an issue with Jessica. Her wisdom, 436, top notch. Agility, I wouldn't say she's slow. She's just above average in speed at 387. But once again, that's just fine. Movement of 2, weight of 60.
Take it easy, you guys. What are you, a couple of cavemen?
Preferred weapon, unfortunately, is not a whip. And honestly, this is my biggest disappointment on this banner. So you can tell this is pretty good since it's such a nitpick. Biggest disappointment. Magic plus 22, spell power plus 2%, and yes, are better overall magic weapons in the game. And with Jessica, she might be worthy. She not might be. She is worthy of also using the S ranked mace or magic weapon. But I like this because you can get either Giron's Fireball or Red Hot Garrigon damage. Very, very good there. Magic and ability is agility. Sorry, is also you could put in there. But honestly, if you get those skills, you can really focus on that. The Red Hot is the one that I would focus on. I think it's the one that you're going to use the most. If you can get 2 of those up there and a Fireball, you'll really see good overall damage. And that really kind of makes her even out as being a consistent nuke. Extra 5 to 10% damage there really goes a very, very long way. And a new thing here is now that I've been able to find, we can see some of the damage. On the left here is her multi masher, and you can see, yes, it does 5,600 damage. It uses all MP, so if you've got 2 MP or 2 billion, it costs the same. Deals non-reflector spell damage to all enemies, to an enemy within range. It's a single unit nuke. What you really should do with this is use her accumulate or her tension up skill and then just go to town. All very silly powerful unit. The other one here is her fireball. You can see it's doing 500 damage each hit. She is just an absolute nuke and destroyer of worlds, basically. So overall, she is just an absolute fantastic unit. Yes, these are lower level enemies, but still, even against most units, especially if you use her correctly, you will just see these insane damages. All right, pros, cons, pulls. Very strong magic user with lots of MP and regeneration with dupe. Ultimate deals non-reflective spell damage and does massive damage. Gains tension if attacked, and that's with her tension up. But this is, or sorry, that's her normal skill. But this is a double-edged sword. She just doesn't have a large amount of HP, so do have to be careful of that. Her internal ability is can make her insanely powerful, but you've got to make sure that she can actually stay alive with it. And that charm is a great debuff to use. The cons, it's the squishiness. Um, the HP and defense combination is a bit low. Her ultimate is only used as a finishing blow. It can actually ruin runs for you if you mistime it. Uh, there is cons there, but all in all, very very much nitpicky. And the biggest con of all, her main weapon is not a whip. Will I pull? Yeah. Uh, Sexy Beam has been used on me, and she's just a very powerful magic user, a favorite of mine, and all in all, yeah, she's still top of her class. Her summoner unit is probably the weakest one out of the four. Robo Robin is a whoosh based unit, which is actually kind of nice. We haven't had a lot of whoosh units lately. First one is Armor Hammer, or basically it inflicts some physical damage and reduces defense for 3 turns. This is actually a very good skill. Um, it's a little frustrating that personally, uh, this skill might be the most useful out of the three. Flat spin is pretty good though too, with the 28 MP. Does 160% whoosh damage, moves up to 4 squares, and occasionally stuns. The stun is nice, but personally, I think the reduced defense skill is great. The flat spin though does have the nice AOE. If Armor Hammer and Flat Spin had changed, and the Armor Hammer was the 3 line, this unit would have gone from average to very very high usability. So all in all, still a good unit. Whoosh Cyclone is just a damage unit. You know, it has an interesting ability, and the nice thing about Robo Robin is that it has different AOE types that can be used, so you can kind of mix and match. They do roughly the same amount of damage, have roughly the same amount of MP consumption, so you can just try to figure out, Tetris your damage as needed. First Awakening increases movement and attack for 1 turn after HP drops below 50%. Funny enough, Robo Robin actually has more HP and defense than Jessica, and has a good attack, but agility is a relatively little low. Movement and weight is just expected, and MP is 281, which is way too much for the what it needs for its skills. The Fifth Awakening gives you a 5% stun rate, which is nice for flat spin. That stun is, I think it would have been better if it had the Third Awakening as well. As I say, for the A units, most of these A units are above average. This one is probably the lowest one out of the four. Still okay. And for people pulling for Jessica, you're probably going to get this one. There are others I'd rather have, but it's not a bad A unit. The leadership is increased whoosh damage to inorganic units by 10%. It's just for Robo Robin. It's not that useful. Add another attack skill. I would say physical with another element if possible, if you really want to use this all the time. But all in all, from a banner standpoint, they knocked it out of the park with Jessica. Uh, Obviously, she's not as strong as Nocturnus, but she is going to be very useful. She is still incredibly useful in Japan. And these are the units that I try to highlight and tell everyone. These are the units to get, the ones that are still top of the class 6 months later. We are going to have one more coming in this banner, Dual Magus, but I think Jessica is the much more need to have. Dual Magnus is the arena unit of a quote unquote pure counter to Nocturnus, and can be very scary to fight against, especially if you do not have a team that is capable of taking him out. So good luck, everyone. I will put my polls up on YouTube probably Wednesday or Thursday because I don't think I'll be able to poll tonight. But good luck and enjoy. Goodbye.